I already recorded this on a voiceover, but I decided to record again with presence. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever this message finds you. My name is Steve Vargas Betancourt, truth seeker, knowledge keeper, builder of what must be rebuilt. And today, I want to share something that came to me while sitting in prayer, speaking to my ancestors, speaking to my father and my mother. Something that made me realize that we're living in a time humanity has never seen before. Not because of technology itself, but because of what we now have the ability to leave behind. And when that realization hit me, it hit me deep. The ancestors could not leave videos. Sometimes I sit and I think about my father, not just about missing him, but about the conversation that never happened. When I was in prison, me and my father wrote letters to each other. Funny enough, he was one of the very few people that actually wrote me consistently. And even though he didn't raise me, even though we didn't have that father and son relationship growing up, something started opening between us through those letters. There was a bridge trying to form. Back then, when we wrote each other, my first marriage had fallen apart. My life was broken. It was broken open. And I had this vision in my mind. When I get out of prison, I'm gonna go to Puerto Rico. I'm gonna go sit on the porch with my father and finally get to know him. Not surface talk. I'm not talking about surface talk. I wanted the real conversations. What hurt him? What shaped him? What made him laugh? What made him cry? What regrets followed him? What dreams never happened? What memories stayed alive inside him? I wanted to search his heart while there was still time. But life had other plans. He passed away 1 month before I was released. 1 month. And that porch conversation, it never happened. That realization stayed with me for years because I understood something painful. Sometimes grief is not just losing the person. Sometimes grief is losing the archive, the stories, the voice, the cadence, the pauses between words, the expressions, the presence. And today, while sitting in my sacred space, praying, speaking to my father, speaking to my mother, something hit me deeply. I pointed at my phone and realized this is not just a phone. This is a tool that allows me to leave my voice behind. Not just my words, my actual voice, my face, my expressions, my reflections, my laughter, my pain, my warnings, my growth. Future generations may never physically meet me, but one day, my children's children's children may still be able to press play and see me speaking directly to them. Think about that. The ancestors could leave stories, letters, maybe photographs if we were lucky, but they could not leave videos. They could not leave living moments of themselves speaking from the soul. We can. And most people don't even realize how sacred that possibility is. Everybody's chasing virality, likes, attention, validation, algorithms, fame. Meanwhile, I'm over here realizing I may be building an archive for descendants I will never physically meet. One day, a descendant may ask, what kind of man was my ancestor? And instead of silence, they'll find thousands of moments. Not perfection, not performance, not some polished fake image, but presence. A real human being trying to understand life, trying to heal, trying to leave wisdom behind instead of wounds. And I thought about my mother too. I remembered writing her a letter when I was around 15 years old asking, why did you let me leave from under your wings so young without explaining how cruel this world could be? But today I realized something else. Even if she had the perfect words back then, I probably wouldn't have understood them yet. Some truths can only be understood through fire. And because I understand that now, I made sure my children would receive the warnings I never received. That is how generations evolve. Not through perfection, through transmission. That's why I record. That's why I write. That's why I speak. Not because I need the spotlight, but because one day, when I am gone, when I'm no longer here, I still want my voice to reach home. To those who came before us and to those who will come after us. May we leave behind more than noise. May we leave wisdom, truth, presence, and living memory. Caballito galopea por los montes, que ya son las horas. Paso firme, no da cambio, y si cambia, mundo cuava. My name is Steve Vargas Betancourt, truth seeker, knowledge keeper, builder of what must be rebuilt. Ache, ache.